I'm at a project called Park Hill, and this is for SX Properties. This job has asphalt repair, curb repair, and concrete sidewalk repair. So I wanted to take a look out here because Dave with SX Property did a really good job at marking the locations. So for instance, I'm down here at the gated entry, which is right here. And as I drive in, I'm going to look at some of the patches that are done. You can see he marked them on the roadway here and did a good job at showing what they are. But you've got some of them that say remove planters, pave. You know, it's like I want to look at some of those and see what the heck they're talking about. So the simple ones that you see that don't have any notes next to them, I'm not going to look at. But where I see maybe the 8x8 failure and I see R&R 30-foot speed bump, we're going to take a look at that kind of stuff. Okay, so this first one's the R&R 30-foot speed bump as you come in at the entrance. Okay, so that speed bump that was mentioned, it's about a 3-inch tall speed bump here at the entrance, and you've got the quantities. But this is what you're looking at. You're looking at some missing speed bump there, and they're talking about doing the whole thing over again. R&R 30 feet. So they want to take it all out, put it back, and repaint it. So we need to make sure we plug in for 30 feet of yellow painted speed bump. So on this map right here, this is a rather simple one, but I'm going to show you what they're talking about. You've got a 51 by 30 asphalt repair here, and mind you, if we win this job, we'll come out and mark all this out because there's a requirement to have a pre-walk inspection of the areas, and then we will mark out the areas to be exact, so that way they fit these dimensions. But on that 51 by 30, I'm approaching it right up here, and I mean, you don't see a whole lot of damage, except you got a little bit of sinking here. And in the drive aisle, you've got a little bit of alligator cracking there. You've got a previous patch that was done. But it's not terrible. But bad enough to where they want to fix it. So anyways, I wanted to show you that one, but I'm going to take you back to this other patch. It's going to be patch number 1 and patch number 2. So pretty descriptive here on patch number 1. This is at one of the entrances, and that's where I'm at right now. And it's talking about right over here at, I guess this would be unit 42 maybe, where that blue car is. They're saying that there is a 10 by 10 root damage and then a 15 by 15 failure. So they're talking about that whole area right there. 10 by 10 root damage, 15 by 15 failure. So we'd be covering that whole area right there in front of the car where there's tree roots coming out of that planter. All right. So again, we're just looking at some of these patches that have like special notes next to them. But other than that, for bidding purposes, we're competing against a couple other contractors, and I just want to show you kind of how busy the parking areas are in here and what we're dealing with, how many entrances, and the type of repairs that they're asking about. So down in this area at the end, we've got two patches. One's a 16 by 9 and another's a 16 by 9, and they're saying to remove planters and pave. So they're saying to remove both of these planters and pave. Well, as you can see, there's 2 trees in them. So we're obviously not removing the trees, but we can remove the planters. So they'll have to remove the trees, and we can remove the planters. So on those 16 by 9s, where it says remove a planter, we have to take out all the dirt that's inside that 16 by 9, as well as that one. And you've got roughly 6 inches of dirt in there, and then you have to take down another 2 inches and then put back asphalt. And that's the only one that's on this drawing right now that's like that. Everything else is just your standard patches everywhere on the asphalt. Okay? You've got the main entrance down there that's gated that I came in at. Then you have that entrance there. And that's, I think, it. There's no other entrances. Okay. I don't think there's anything else I really need to show you about the asphalt. Let's move the concrete and curb. So now we're looking at the concrete, sidewalk, and curb repairs. All the curb repairs will be, they're notified on here as C1, C2, C3, C4, and C5. And they basically just say, 18 feet of curb, like you see there. Then it says plus 8x2. I'll have to go take a look at that, see what they mean there in that section, because I'm right down here right now. But we're going to look at that piece of curb right there on C3, so we know what the heck they mean there. Also on C2 it says 6-foot curb and fill. It might be a planter or something. But we're going to look at these sidewalks, because you've got a 15x5 into the breezeway. You've got this one that says 1 grind, 6x6 plus 1 step. So we're going to take a look. Okay, so we're going to look at this. Oops, sorry about that. We're going to look at this 6x6 plus 1 step, 1 grind, 1 epoxy fill. Okay, so as we look at this 6x6 right here, it's basically saying behind this trash enclosure here, you've got some sidewalk that's busted. It's a step. They're saying a 6x6. Well, yeah, I'd say it's pretty close to 6x6. You have to take out this here, but you'd have to chip out this step here and then take out this as well. Now, plus 1 step, 1 grind, 1, okay. I see what they're saying here. So on this one right here, it's saying to do a 6x6, grind it down where that crack is, which we do not do. And then it says 1 epoxy fill. So you can't really do that. Down here, you've got some cracked concrete right there. And I know we don't do grinding. And it's a high enough lip to where we can't really do anything with that. We can't use Sikaflex or anything. So we might have to take that one out of the equation, or we bid it to replace all of it. So this one right here could potentially be filled. We could fill that with a Sikaflex or something that we know that we use. I think Mark Machinsky was saying there's something that we could use there. So there's that. If we have a hand grinder, we could potentially hand grind that just a little bit. It's a small amount just in that piece. So that's what that one is there on number 1. Since it's the only one that says, well, I was going to say it's the only one that says grind, but I see another one that says grind. We could talk this over and see if we can just grind off that little 3-foot piece. It's such a small piece, and then fill it with like a Sikaflex, and then same thing at the top of the steps. Okay, this one that says 15x5 into the breezeway. What they're talking about is that building 31 here. You've got this breezeway here that has a crack in it. So they're talking about replacing all of this. And you got to assume that it's 5 inches on that. Okay, 5 inches. And you've got a carport that sits about, looks like about 25 feet away. And then you got this carport that's 20. So you're looking at about 50 feet away from that breezeway, where you can haul the material. You can actually haul it around on the sidewalk. If we needed a wheelbarrow, you can go around the corner and you can wheelbarrow the mix over there. Or if we had a pump truck, we could do it that way too, but I would imagine probably wheelbarrow maybe. Alright, so that's that one. And we're gonna go look at some more here. Now we're looking at this 7x4 patch number 11. That's by building 32. a 7x4, and it's saying that it's, let's see here. Okay, I see now. At building 32, you've got a 7x4 right here. The entrance. It's at 202. You know, it's 4 inches there right now, but I think we should assume everything is 5 inches to be safe on this bid. And again, we need to go around and verify the exact measurements on these. I just want to give an idea of what these sidewalk repairs look like and what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a lot of carports and at least 50 to 70 feet or 75 feet away from the nearest spot where we could park the truck. So you're talking wheelbarrowing on a lot of these, not the sidewalks. On this 4x3, they're talking about the top step of a staircase, and that top step of the staircase it's like 8 inches thick. So we can bid this patch. This is a 4x3 right here. They want it to come up. This area right here is lower than this part of the sidewalk. And so what they're wanting to do here at 28, room number 103, so they're wanting to get rid of this. Basically, this staircase started to dip down. It really just needs to be lifted a little bit. I wish we had the capabilities of doing that. But as you can see from the side, it's more like, well, it tapers up to 4 inches, but you know, on average it's, well, I'd say probably on average it's 5 inches. But we'd have to cut this step out right here. We'd have to saw cut it right there, put in a new form, detach that railing right there, which right now has like square, a square screwdriver, or Allen wrench I should say, to take off this railing. But we would have to detach that, probably detach all 3 legs there, take it off so that we could put in this 4x3 top step. It's a little closer to, we're talking about 10 feet, 12 feet away from where a truck could park. Stall 149, 148, 147. Again, that's a 4x3. And that was at patch number 12. Patch number 12. Now again, so far I could assume that a lot of these are about 5-inch depth. You know, except for like when you get right here. Yeah, no, it's about right. It's about a 5-inch depth on all of this. And again, we need to do a pre-construction like site walk. So if we were to be selected on this, I would be letting these people know that, hey, we need to walk these areas and kind of re-evaluate the locations that they've pointed out here. So I'm here at 22 and there's like patches 13, 14, and 15. Now it says that patch number 15, moving along the back side here, so going up the staircase here, at about 100 feet away, you've got some repairs up these stairs. So accessibility is not the easiest on these ones that are in the back. But they're saying a 14x14, a 4x4, and another 4x4. And what they're talking about is this whole landing right here. Okay, this whole thing needs to be replaced right at that stair. Looks like they tried to grind it down at one point, but it needs new concrete in this whole area. Okay, so 14x14 would be this whole area. The 4x4, I'm not sure where the 4x4 is, but I know it's going to be around in here somewhere. Add strip drain. I don't even know what the strip drain is on that either, so I'm going to have to ask them what it is and let you know on Workman's. Strip drain. They're wanting it to drain somewhere. Well, it looks like there's a lot of water that catches right here in this area. So I'm wondering if they're wanting to provide some sort of trench drain. I think is what they're probably referring to, is a trench drain. And if they were to provide a trench drain, it's going to be probably, well, they probably want it to stop before it gets into here. I'm going to put, let's put excludes strip drain, because there's no details to that. So I don't want to do that. So please make a note, and I'll make the note too, that says to excludes strip drain and to be determined. All right, so now down here there's a 16 by 8, an 18 by 4, and it says railings. So this is a fun one. You've got this little section right in here where it has to be replaced. Now this is at least about 150 to 200 feet from the closest driveway, and they'd have to wheelbarrow. They'd have to go up staircase, because I don't really see another option to do that. So it's all handwork. This handrail all bolted down by the square rivets here, and it looks like they come apart. So it comes apart right here, and it looks like it comes apart down here. So you don't have to take all the railing out, but in this section that we need to work at, you'll have to take out at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll have to take out about 36 feet of railing and put back railing. Okay, or maybe 30 feet, because it'll stop right there. Nope, 36 feet. Okay, so we'll have to put all this railing back in. I take that back. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. So about 60 feet of railing that we would have to unbolt off the sidewalk and then put back in after we replace this section of sidewalk. Okay, 16 by 8 and 18 by 4. The 18 by 4 is in this section, and the 16 by 8 would be this section at house 205. So you've got, again, the 5 inches, but you've got 2 columns to work around, a drain pipe that's in here, and 2 entrances. All right, so let's make our way down here to, that was for number 14. Now let's go over to 13, where there's a 24 by 4. Okay, so I'm at the back corner here, and it says a 24 by 4. Okay, that 24 by 4 says +3 expansions. That's right here. This section right here. Okay, so you've got this one. You've got this section right here, and it goes around to this stairwell. And the stairwell needs to be replaced. As you see, that's the closest access is right down here, which I will walk down there and show you how close this is. But that's what you're looking at, thickness-wise. It gets to about 18 inches here on this step. It'd have to be cut out. This railing would have to be loosened up. Might even be able to stay there and just be, hanging free there. That'd have to be saw cut, and then we'd have to replace all this sidewalk up in here. So some serious form work going on here. Tree roots, that's what's causing the damage here. Some tree root damage. Okay, that's patch number 13. That's what it looks like from here. Slopes off to the end there. The guys will hate me for that, but that's what it looks like. And then you've got your access over this way. So you got some major stairs to climb, and again, you're about 150 feet away from the closest parking spot for the truck. Okay, at building 16303, this would be patch number 7. Patch number 7 here, which points you in the back corner here. You go down again that's about 60 feet or so down the steps, into this landing right here. You got a 6x4 here. 6x4, 5-inch needs to be removed and replaced. And then down here at the corner, they didn't finish the they didn't finish writing it down, but it's repair number 6. It's just separated here. So they're saying do an expansion R&R. So I'm going to say at this expansion R&R, which is patch number 6. The other one was patch number 7. Patch number 6, it says ×2 expansion R&R. This doesn't really make sense, but I do see that it's been removed once. They tried to grind it down. I'm going to go with our own patch here, patch number 6, and that's going to be a it's going to end up being a 4x3, excuse me, a 5x4, 5x4, and we'll replace that here on the back where it's 13101. Easier access would be back behind, so where it says number 11 there, building 11, easier access right there, right from the driveway, and you come back about 100 feet. You can fix that repair. Here's the other repair. That's why they said ×2. So we got another one that's right here. This is going to be about a 4x4 repair as well. Okay. I take that back. Let's change this up on this patch. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to end up going. So we're going to go 16 by 4 right here on this back corner for patch number 6. So patch number 9, patch number 8, it says grind. This is the only other one that said grind on it. So we're going to look at this. 9 by 4 plus 1 step, and then it says ×1 grind. So going right up this staircase, I got to look at some grinding, which I see it right at the top, which we won't be able to really do that. This would be at unit 9, I guess. Unit 9. Again, this is for patches 9 and 8. Number 8 says grind. They're referring to that little spot right there, which we will not be able to do. We need to change number 8 to concrete repair, which means we'll leave the step, but we'll take out this piece right there. All right, so that right there is an 8x8 in this section right here. For number 8, we're going to call that an 8x8 remove and replace, 5-inch. And then on number 9, it says a 9x4 plus 1 step. So it's going to be right in here somewhere. But where? Okay, so as I came up from building 9, we talked about the 8x8 patch. Behind this big garage, comes around. You got staircases either way you look at it to try to get up here. Okay, but it looks like as you come around and you come up the steps, you've got this 9x4 right here that they want to replace because of that, which means we're going to have to undo the railing right there. We'll have to cut a step and then take it back to this step. We don't need to replace that step, I don't believe, because that's not the proper footage there. But I think they want this. And again, we have to walk it with the customer if we were to get the job and verify if we need this or if we need to add that piece right there. Okay. All right, but that's your access to that repair. Otherwise, you have to go from up above and make your way down the staircase. So either way, it sucks. And while I'm at it on the curbing, all the curbing that you see in this bid to be replaced in all the locations, I want you to assume the same footage for red painted curb. By the way, that C number 4, that curb I just showed you in the video was right there. C4, 26 feet of curb. The 18 feet of curb is the same thing. It's all painted. Now we're going to look at patch number 5, which is a 7x4 down here at unit 10. I'm driving down here right now, and it says it's on the left hand side, And it's concrete, so it must be back behind there. Just a second. Okay, so I had pulled down here by unit 10, came around, went up the stairs. And as I come around here, there's a 7x4 that's right here, right by number 7 here at 7101. This needs to be taken out. 5 inches. You've got a little bit of root damage. I mean, they're all being caused by root damage. So you know that we're gonna have to deal with roots on every single one of these sidewalk repairs. Okay. And this is about 30 feet away from this covered area. Okay. It's right there. Okay, from the entrance, where is the entrance at? Here it is. From the entrance, I came up, took a right down into this area where it says number 4 there. This is patch number 3. It's a 10x5 with facing. All I can guess is that at 102 here, you've got this area right here that's raised. It's about an 8x5. But that's it. That's all I can see that needs to be done here. And it might be that we need to do it because this planter area, when I was talking about the curbs, this planter area, or actually when I was talking about the asphalt, these 2 planters were 2 areas where we need to rip out the islands. I think it was said 16x9 on each of them. So by doing that, we might be needing to replace this whole section, which is about a 10x5 right in here. Okay, at patch number 3, now I know. The last part of the video I showed you was the wrong spot. I was in the wrong location. Now I am at 4. And this 10x5 with facing is right here. And it's because that facing is starting to get peeled off. So we have to do a 10x5, which would be from that column over to that tree. 10x5. Okay, the last one's a 16x4 right there at the entrance, and that's right here to the right. Behind this curb, you've got right here, right past the tree, you've got a little bit of raising of concrete there, and I'm thinking that's the only spot. Again, it all needs to be verified on a site walk. If we were to get this job, we would have to verify everything before we do it. So, staging. Where do we park when we're staging? Well, there's 6 stalls that are visitors right here, and that's 48 feet. Then you've got another section of parking, which is all visitors. So I would assume these are 2 major areas that we will need to take up in order to provide enough staging for us on this. Up here at the clubhouse, it's another area that we could use for staging as well, and that gets us in a general spot where I don't think we'll be interfering with too many people. Okay. Any other questions, let me know. I know with the concrete curb removal, let's see. So on the concrete removal, it's 92 feet, which is not a lot. And I think we could get that done in one day. And then we'd have to come back and stripe it on another day, which would probably only be about an hour of striping. Then you got the asphalt remove and replace, 5,947 square feet. It says 2.5 to 3 inches of hot mix asphalt. I would say we bid it as 3 inch. And on all those repairs, I'm not quite sure how many days that's going to end up being. I checked out a rule of thumb, but they're in all kinds of locations, so I know it's going to be a lot of handwork. The concrete sidewalk remove and replace, 959 square feet. I think we're looking at probably a couple days, I would imagine, on that, because they're a little bit tougher. That strip drain, I'm going to leave that strip drain out. We need to make sure we say exclude strip drain until location is determined in length. All right, but remember there's railing removal and replacement, so probably adding on an extra day or 2 to some of this work, especially that sidewalk work. I mean, I don't know if that's a 3 or 4 day job, but it's a lot of moving around. Okay, any other questions, let me know.